All right, well, good afternoon, everyone. It's afternoon here in Aussie time, which is American night time. EU, obviously UK, you guys will be asleep. That's why I will record this for you so you can watch it back. Now, obviously, guys, it's been a while since I've had a massive weekend at Oz CryptoCon. It was simply amazing. Couldn't recommend it higher, guys. If you ever are going to a crypto event, definitely don't fade doing something like that. Had the best time, had the absolute best time. Okay, so definitely worth your time. Definitely worth your time. But yeah, it's probably a good time to do a full market review, guys. Obviously, crypto's kind of just chilling a bit. And some local tops, maybe. Obviously, SwiftX had their Bitcoin drones in the sky. We saw a bonk drone in America in the sky. We had Pump Fun live streams go pretty viral. So for me, a little bit of a top signal's not far away. I mean, you got the psychological level of 99k as well, right? And it's no surprise that we didn't quite crack that six figs. But that's fine. Like, I mean, look at this, guys. Okay, you got to remember, and this is what I mean. Like, zoom out. Okay, we literally went from 66k to 99k, which is a 50% move on an asset that's worth trillions of dollars in the space of 2 weeks. Okay, so just relax. Okay, just relax. Okay, that's the first message I want to remind everyone of. We're really starting to see Ethereum do really well, which is good, because we obviously swapped some of our Solana and BTC for some ETH a couple of weeks back. So good to see ETH doing well. Sol's obviously in a nice pullback as well. We'll look at that very shortly on lower timeframes as well, same as Bitcoin. But yeah, total still looks good. That's total too. Full total, guy. Again, we broke out from a massive consolidation phase. We now are officially in all-time highs. So again, you just got to stay patient. Again, I'm not too worried, but it's good to be in the position, like Craig and I have spoken about, guys, of looking to take some profits, right? So I'd scaled out 10%, okay, of Ray, BTC, and Sol. And but that's again, where like if you've been here as an OG, you should be in a very similar situation as myself. If you're obviously newer, then we'll talk more on that strategy as well as the weeks progress. But what we're looking at, guys, is a very beautiful breakout. And I definitely think this continues definitely into Q1, possibly Q2 next year. And I was just talking about that on the SwiftX podcast, actually. A lot does determine on what Trump does come in and say early next year. Now, the government in the US already kind of owns about 1% of Bitcoin. So as long as they don't sell that, that's generally very bullish. But if they do come in and start buying a lot more, then that could be really crazy. If he starts to come in and say that that he's deregulating the space as well, that could be really crazy as well. So there's a lot to consider here. And like I said, guys, like just a reminder, okay, like this is why I take profits, because the last two cycles I failed to take profits. Okay, so it's just a personal strategy for me. And if you've been in the cycle for a very long time, if you were in this zone here, okay, then you should start considering to take small clips as we pump, right? I saw this massive breakout. You reach all-time highs. I promised myself 6 months ago, 12 months ago, even 18 months ago with Craig. We spoke about this many times. I promised myself, Greeny, if BTC gets to nearly 100K, if Sol gets to 260, take some off the tables. And so I didn't want to, because you do get greedy, right? But I've learned, I've obviously made so many mistakes and failures in the past that you just learn from these sorts of things, guys. So for anyone that has a bit of wealth and accumulated during this period here where we went sideways for a very long time, middle of 2022 to obviously the end of last year, guys, do consider taking some off the tables, because like in theory, we're still up like a 2x overall. Okay, BTC's up multiple. Like I'm up so much money on my Solana trade. It's no surprise here that we have been rejected as well from all-time highs, guys. Like that's pretty inevitable. Maybe it would have been a good short opportunity actually. But like I got in from $17, guys. So about here, this is where I bought in. Okay, so like I'm up 12x, right? So of course I should take some off the tables. Okay, I just want to talk about that, and because a lot of people don't have an exit strategy, a lot of people don't know how to take profits. So that's why I'm here to help educate you guys so you don't make the same mistakes as what I did in the past. But if we do dive down and have a look, shout out to Mac and a few of the boys, the traders in the group. I know Sexy and Aussie been looking for shorts as well. We are pretty much reaching. Why is my fib being funny? Oh well, I'll just have to delete it. Okay, we are reaching levels. Obviously, we retested that all-time high. We didn't quite break above it. So for me, right, I'm still very much watching the pullbacks. If we can get down to this region of low 200s, that's an absolute long for me, guys. I'm staying patient. And we obviously broke this trend here too. Okay, so that was the trend I was watching for a while. We obviously have broken that as well. So if we do look at, okay, what I would like to see if you're bullish, guys, is for Solana to come back into this range, sort of show that as support, retest all-time highs, break above that, and do that what that white line's showing you. But in theory, consolidation here is key, okay? And what you would have noticed, again, guys, like look at this, okay? Sol went from 155 to 260, so 70% move in the space of 2 weeks. So yeah, it's okay to cool down. Price can't always go up, okay? It's healthier if price does this. It's healthier if price does this, okay? And continues to do that, okay? That's healthy, right? We want price to do that. We don't want price to go straight up. That's more bearish for me, okay? So what I'm watching here is a possible retest. If we get a retest there, I'll be looking for some shorts. This sort of short setup I'd be looking for would be obviously something like this. You put your stop loss above all-time highs. You short back towards the 382 where there is a lot of liquidity over the past sort of weeks before we went up to retest that 260 zone. That's a very simple short, guys, with a very clean risk to reward of about nearly 3. So that's what I'll be looking at. But again, if we have good strength, if we do look at the oscillators just to consider, volatility is quite high. However, on the 4 hour, we are closer to the bottom. So yeah, we do have room to move back up here to retest that. As soon as we get there, I will be looking for strength. If we do break in here, okay, then I definitely won't be shorting. But if we do obviously wick in here, we can't close like an hour or 4 hour candle back up in this region. That's the opportunity to take a short. Just quickly, let's look at stochastic. This is why I also am favoring, I got it, the wrong one. Favoring shorts, guys. And Max indicator would sent through a couple shorts this morning, so that's amazing that we're slowly integrating that to the server. But manually, yeah, like what you can see here, and I spoke about this last week before I went to Oz CryptoCon, guys. We are very overextended on high time frames, right? So it's inevitable that you do need to come back and see, like, look at the amount of green strength, buy strength we've had down the bottom, guys. DMI's been on a rip as well, the yellow line indicator. Essentially, what you just need to know, we were overextended. We've had considerable amount of time of green volume and green influx buyer strength, right? DMI is quite high for its history. As you can see here, it does obviously get up here when we pumped earlier in the year, or last year, sorry. But what we see is we're due for a pullback. So the red and the blue line is what you're looking at. Okay, they're just your moving averages, and we are overextended. And right now we are well below the pivot level on the daily. So we very much still have downside on the daily. Let's look at the week. Week again, same. We are still above it though. So 229 for this weekly closure, which obviously is very far away. We've only just started a new week. Yeah, we have closed the week. What day is it? Yeah, Tuesday. Yeah, so that was week closed. So watching the pivot this week, guys. Again, we probably still could, as you can see, we could still sustain a bit of movement up here for a while. But if you start to see a double top, that might also be bearish. So just keep an eye on that on the weekly. 5 day, I think we're quite overextended as well. That's always good to consider. And the monthly, we have come back down a little bit, which is good, but we're well above the pivot. So this is why bullish, still medium, long term, very bullish. Short term, bit of a pullback, okay? Bit of a pullback is inevitable. Obviously, if you caught some shorts over the past couple of days, amazing. I mean, I'm pretty sure it only really started to go short from yesterday from memory. So yeah, that's good. Let's look at BTC. Same again, guys. A lot of charts will be quite similar. Some of our altcoin trades and memecoin trades are doing well that we longed a couple of weeks ago. I'll briefly touch on them as well. But essentially, I'm still holding whichever ones haven't stopped out at break even. Holding a small position in them left. I've taken a lot of profits in them because I was sensing that macro is quite overextended. I was looking at some of these oscillators when I got a chance over the past few days, and that's why I did ping you guys to say, look, take some profits. And the bonk trade, like we closed the bonk trade at a great time, guys. That's why, like when you're leverage trading, you very much want to make sure that you are, excuse me. Holy moly, my wife just got her hair done, and that is a lot of money. That's beside the point. But like when you're overextended like this on like higher time frames, okay, it's so inevitable that at least we come back to retest, at least sort of like we're overextending the bullish range, guys. Okay, you want to come back down and be down here, if not reset down here, and then that's where we want to be looking to find some longs again. Longing up here is so silly. Okay, that's why I haven't been calling a lot of leverage trades personally, because you're only scalping on lower time frames. Swing trades is where I focus a lot more. And right now the swing trade was shorts. Okay, and we obviously have Mac share a couple. We've seen Aussie and then Sexy share a couple as well. But yeah, preference is lower, at least for a couple of days, maybe the week or two, and then look for longs. And then that's what I'd use. So using this oscillator just to track the trend, okay? This is, again, why I also took profits, right? Like, if you look at the monthly. Look at the monthly. We're crazy. This is probably the wrong one. Hold on. Let me go to the index. Binance, that's the index. Okay, look at the monthly, guys. Look at the monthly. Look at the monthly. I was like, okay, Greeny, take some profits. Take some profits. That's why we're here. We're here to make money, okay? Now, don't get me wrong. We could very much still be up here for a while. Our pivot level on the monthly, which closes actually in 4 days, so that's interesting, is 86.5. So, I mean, that if it stays above 86.5, then we maintain above this very much overextended range. However, if price goes below there, then we probably move back down here, guys. What you want to see is price consolidate. Like I said before, okay, what we want to see price do now, this is on the monthly, so it's a bit different, but I'll do the weekly. What you want to see is something like this, okay? So we consolidate, massive breakout, consolidate, okay, massive breakout, consolidate, okay, massive breakout. That is a healthy market. Anything that's not doing that, okay, I get bearish quicker, if that makes sense. So in other words, if we do something like this, if we just go straight like this, okay, straight like this to 130K, oh my God, sell everything. I'll sell 75% of my net worth in crypto, okay? That's what we don't want to see, okay? Because then, as meme coins, guys, the dump will be just as aggressive. Let's look at history. Okay? What you want to see is beautiful. This is a good example, okay? So we broke out here, all right? We broke out, okay? We consolidated. Broke out, consolidate. Broke out, consolidated, broke key levels, okay? So I would have been taking some profits here, okay? Look how overextended we were. Look how overextended we were. Let me bring that down a little bit so it's easier for you guys to see. Look how overextended we were. Okay, the yellow, red, blue line, this one, green, that's stochastic. Sorry, that's volatility. So that means like if you're over up in this region with stochastic momentum, which is your blue and your red line, your moving averages, then very likely it could be a little local top. In this case, it was a macro top. We came all the way down and reset, okay? All the way reset. Everyone was thinking it's all over, okay? And sure enough, what happened? Okay, we had, again, beautiful market structure. We had up, bull flag, up, bull flag. We wanted to consolidate. We couldn't hold it. We came back down. And again, we had oscillators very much overextended. And this is what I'm using, guys. This is why I spent $300 on Eric Crowd's advanced oscillator, because it is insane. It gives you insane analytics, and it does. I'll show you. It has this oscillator. It has the pivot levels, right, of the closures. So on the week, 95 is our key level this week. Before we might be overextended. But look at this, guys. This is another reason why I took some profits, guys. Look at where we are. Okay, don't get me wrong. I hope the bull market lasts until deep into 2025, okay? But you have to be realistic, okay? And that's what we do in this group. We don't bullshit, okay? We keep it realistic. And what we're seeing here is like stochastic momentum, which is also a reflection of price, okay, is at nearly all-time highs, right? We only seen it in the last cycle. Well, April, March, that was again a local top. This was in December when we went pretty crazy after that breakout from October to December. Okay, you go back in history, you look at these dates, price goes pretty crazy, right, at those sorts of levels. Okay, October, look at that, November, October, that was the peak last cycle. Okay, and then this one here was again that first peak that we saw last cycle. Okay, in terms of price. So when we reach this area, it's significantly worth de-risking some of your portfolio. Again, if you're a newer trader, if you only joined the market more recently, you should be more liquid and more active with your approaches. You should definitely hodl Bitcoin, Solana, and Ethereum. But for me, okay, as someone that's been in for a lot longer, what I'm starting to do is consider taking profits rather than buying more. Now, people want to go, Greeny, where are you buying more? So let's have a look. Hey, that's the next question. So what levels am I looking at for price? Okay, so if we get rid of the scribbles, let's look at this. So this is like the trenches are still there, but I've been seeing a few people complain about the trenches. So that's why I'm happy to kind of just focus more here and what we're seeing on the short term. But give me a nice pullback, like a shallow pullback, right? So if we put the, is it there on my list? No, it's not. Okay, we'll do the bottom, 0.236. Okay. So we add the 0.236. Okay, so generally in markets, right, if something comes back to these two shallow fibs, that shows immense strength. Now, we're in a bull market, okay, like we've just shown you, the oscillators are quite overextended on the higher time frame, so up from the daily, okay, through to the weekly, we're very much still got room to the downside. So for me, I'm keeping an eye on these levels here on the fib. So shallow fib back, pullback. Now, it's up to you how you want to draw this. I've gone from the macro breakout like this bull flag here to where we currently are. That's one level to keep an eye on. So price would be 87.9 or 80.7 we could go as well. They're the levels that I'm watching. Alternatively, you could take the swing low. Okay, so the swing low, this breakout, which is, in my opinion, a very good level to also use, right? And why? Why is that a good level? If you have a look here, okay, this was a breakout of the accumulation phase. And it was a retest of that breakout, okay? All these highs was resistance, 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 resistance. I didn't even get there, but resistance again. Consolidation at the highs, broke above it, come back down, we retested. That's the ultimate buy signal or long signal. What we're doing now is we're retesting, right? So on shorter time frames, what you'd want to see hold is that level for BTC, okay? Let me just close this a bit so you can see it a bit easier. You want to see this sort of hold here as support, which kind of aligns with your shallow fibs. And if that is, then that's a lot of strength. But like I showed you, on the 5-day, on the daily, on the weekly, on the monthly, we are very overextended. So for me to be more bullish longer term, I would like it to maybe break this, come back down, maybe even retest this range. We have a CME gap in here as well. Actually, it would have been around this big wick here. So it's around that 74K mark. It's either this block here or this block here, which is an FVG, so fair value gap. And we haven't revisited these prices, right? So you've got liquidity in this block here that hasn't been revisited. Not too much at that little block there, but this wick here could be revisited. But CME, I think I do have that. Let me find it for you. That's Binance. That's dominance. CME, perfect. Here we go. This is exactly the chart I want. If we come back down here, guys, that is very much on the cards. So that's between 80.6 and 77.9. And traditionally in markets, CME gaps are filled more regular than not. So that's the levels that I'm watching that we have not revisited, okay? So people would be long from there, and people will be short probably from about 100K as well. So keep an eye on it, guys. That's what I'm looking at for BTC. Solana, same again. We have BTC showing more strength, even though we're down at 58%. Ooh. Okay. Give me a sec. Oh, okay. So this is the day, guys. Okay. BTC dominance could be putting in a top here. Okay. So smaller time frames, we've got multiple bearish divergences. Okay. We've got possibly a double top. I mean, just above there. You've also got this wick. Okay. That means people are starting to consider taking some profits. And that BTC, that's me. I took some profits. So Craig and I, here we are, up here. This is very interesting for me, okay? Let's zoom out. Let's go to the weekly. Massive levels. Okay, so weekly oscillating there. Let's look at the weekly stochastic momentum. We are coming down on the weekly, guys. 61 is the pivot to hold. Let's go back to the daily just to check. Daily's already coming down, okay? But the weekly, we have a lot of room to the downside. And look how long we spent there. We spent there August all the way through to November, okay? Look at this time we spent here, guys, from January to July. But that's peak bear, so that makes a lot of sense that BTC dominance was quite high. But like we're seeing, okay, like this level, I've drawn this for a long time, guys. This is why your altcoins, like our two trades, IMX and TR, are doing really well because BTC dominance is falling, all right? And total 3, which is, where's total 3? Total 3 here is beautiful breakout, okay? But again, total 3 is starting to maybe look for a top 2. But look here, okay? BTC dominance is coming into a massive level, okay? Now, if you want to be bullish, you're a Bitcoin bull, what you'd want to see is sort of this level hold here and break towards the 70%. If it's not, if you're an altcoin bull or a meme coin bull, what you want to see is this break. If that breaks, guys, we go crazy, okay? Altcoin bags go good. And don't get me wrong, BTC will still pump, just won't pump as aggressively as your altcoin bags. And we've seen that, like AVAX and stuff have been going crazy. Do I still have it? Yeah, I do. Yeah, look at this. Like AVAX went crazy the past few weeks. Solana's gone crazy. Radium obviously went crazy over the past few weeks. Okay, so guys, like for Solana, what I'm looking at is give me lower. Give me lower. Here we go. So give me a little bit lower, and then I'm very interested. Okay, let's go back to the daily. Okay, we've broken that trend. Unlike BTC, we've broken this trend already. Okay, where we've got support there. Kind of like I said before, guys. What I'd be looking for is maybe shorting this if we do get a retest up here of the trend. We got the wick there. Okay, retest there. If we get it, that's the short opportunity for me. That's how I like to short. Alternatively, you short before you get here. So you realize that it's probably going to be, this is a retest of all-time high. So in theory, it's likely that we reject from there. Price generally doesn't go straight to price discovery. We always find either resistance or consolidation at those levels. So that's what I'm looking at for macro, guys. I hope that gives you a big deep dive into macro. Let's look at ETH at the moment. I mean, I haven't drawn on this chart for a long time. Maybe it's this one. Let's have a look. Yeah, so ETH's breaking out. This is why we bought, guys. We bought down here at 2.9. Okay, in this region here. That's when I bought my Pudgy 2. I'm up in that trade. I think that could be one of the best trades. You could now say this is a level for ETH, okay, if I wanted to broaden that wedge. But ETH looks good. ETH is playing catch up. Let's look at the daily. Yeah, we're still overextended on the daily because it's had a good run. But see where ETH is, guys? see where ETH is coming from? This is why we bought ETH. We bought down here, okay? The momentum for ETH was a lot lower and had upside potential compared to BTC and Sol, which are very overextended because they've been the ones that have been pumping for a long time. That's why you got to be active, guys. And this is, if you saw my chat at the weekend against that billionaire at Oz CryptoCon, Evan Luthra, great guy, great to connect with him. But this is why like trading actively is smart, okay? Because you're capitalizing on trends like this. So if we do look at the pair, and there it is. This could be a very much a reversal here, guys, okay? Because look at this. The week is so overextended. And I spoke about this with you all last week. We are literally the lowest we have been since 2019. It's inevitable that we find at least some form of bounce here. That's why I swapped some BTC and Sol to ETH, guys. If we do look at Sol ETH, this one, yeah, it's coming back down. So because of that, that's why look at this. We're overextended, guys. So this is why I got to be smart, okay? This is why we actively trade, because we beat the trends. We out-trade people. Don't get me wrong. I still hodl a lot, but this is a very good strategy. So there's your macro take. That's what I'm looking at the moment, macro-wise, favoring shorts at the moment, but then obviously favoring shorts into potential longs. So if we come and have a look, where was my Sol chart? Here. So favoring longs into actual shorts would be ideal. I start to consider what price action looks here. I'd start to consider what happens here. I mean, this is on the weekly, but let's look at the daily. Once the daily starts to reset down towards the bottom again of this level, that's when I maybe start to look for some longs, guys. But yeah, pretty much swing longs again, low leverage. Okay, what I'd be setting is looking at these potential levels as pullbacks. Anything below this wick here is extremely bearish. I don't think Sol gets that deep, but Sol, in theory, could go all the way to 172 and still be in a bullish uptrend, guys. Macro high or low, okay? The first order of liquidity that I would be watching is this region here, which aligns with our 382, so that's 206, which I'm pretty sure was a Sol short target for the boys last week. Whether they're still in that short or not, I'm not sure. But that's the level that I'm looking at the moment. So hopefully that gives you a really good macro overview, guys. That's good for me. I haven't looked at the charts since last week, since being in Sydney. So it's great for me to come and have a look and see where we currently are as well. I'm just going to come back and double check the chat and just see if there's any questions. My wife, Kurt said my wife did the same, $610. Wait, Kurt, you're talking about, getting her hair done. Yeah, bro. Oh my God, dude. Like, holy, I just saw that bill come through. I'm like, we don't even have money coming in yet. Oh man, my tax situation is so complex. It's so annoying. But yeah, guys, so that's a macro overview. Outside that, I will look briefly now at some memes. What I'm eyeing off is, yeah, trenches can still be good with all the Memecoin bots that we've added to the server. You can obviously do that. And the boys have still been printing. The girls have been printing. Obviously, in the group, you can still use all the tools, right? They're there. That's why I added them. You don't have to rely on me to be here all the time. That's why I added them, so they're there as a resource for you to use. But guys, let's take a good look. So there's a few memes that I'm looking at, okay? And their pullback, okay? Obviously, the main one is Fog. Zeneca and I were talking a lot about this over the weekend. Essentially, what I'm looking at and what the rumors are for him is that it could be the next sort of one that's listed on Binance. But guys, just a reminder, hey, like, if something goes up crazy, okay, it has to come back. I can't, like, so many people on the timeline, like, stuff up in this situation, right? So what we look at, right? Look at this. That's the level I'm watching. I told Zen that's the level I'm watching as well. Is this sort of region here. It aligns nicely with support over a long period of time. It also aligns nicely on the 0.5 fib. But, like, guys, look at this, okay? Like, if we caught this breakout here, I'm pretty sure... No. This, we saw... Oh, dude. Oh, my God. We're in Fog here at this breakout here, guys. At 4 mil or something. It's crazy. Oh, well, it is what it is, guys. It is what it is. But what I'm looking at, right? Again, over the past, like, November, okay? This is the whole month of November. It went from there to there. So it was a 200% move on a token that's worth a couple $100 million. Of course, it's got to come back and retest some previous lows, okay? This is normal price action. What you would want to see, unlike Giga and SPX, guys, is you want to see it form a bottom at this level. Or worse, wick down, get back in here and do something like that, okay? And continue on the trend like that. Because if it doesn't do that, then more than likely it's going to show more weakness and head back towards our favorite area to swing trade from, the 786 or the 886. So if you look at a lot of these memes, okay, let's bring up Giga. You look at a lot of these meme coins, okay, they are showing tremendous weakness, all right? Now, don't remember, like, And also, don't forget, right? Price always goes low. If it breaks a trend like that, it goes lower, okay? No matter what people tell you, no matter Murad's influence, blah, 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 it's going out the window, okay? Because look at this. Price never lies, guys. This is why we use TA. Price never lies. So what we're seeing is massive sell-off of Giga, okay? Even though holders might be increasing, the whales and stuff are starting to de-risk their position. You're seeing people take profits. I took profits. I'm glad we took that some plays out of this trade because, as you can see, there's so much weakness here. Give me 185 million, and I will. You can't long Giga for some dumb reason. I will buy spot here again. 185, which is in theory still above our 130 million buy, guys. So I still hold a little bit of Giga from that entry. But even like some of our other plays, right? Michi, it's dumping. Like it's way back down to 128. This is why you take profits. Oh, all my charts are bloody reset. Goodness gracious. This is why you take profits, guys. Okay, you always take profits into pumps. Always, always, always. Number one rule: take profits into pumps. Okay, that is the absolute key. So as we're seeing here, like this went up. I mean, we got in at 87 and 90, 83, 97. We got in at this week here. So my chart must have been about that. Yeah, there. We got in here at 97, I think it was, on the retest, and we got in this little order block here at 83, okay? So you're up. You would have made a lot of money. You would have made a 4x on that trade, right? And we're making macro lows. So I would de-risk. If you're still in Michi, watch the pullbacks from the swing. So swing low to the swing high. Watch, again, same level as we just showed you on Giga. Give me the 786, guys, okay? Nothing lasts forever, particularly these meme coins. This is why you want to be an active approach to these memes. This is why Craig and I spoke last week about Pepe as well, and taking some off the tables when it was at 10 bill. I didn't time the top. I think I took some out at about 9 or 8.6 bill. So yeah, like Pepe's holding strong because it's the most dominant meme this cycle. It's the most obvious play, right? And if you have a look, okay, we broke out of this. Again, take profits into pumps. That's what I want you to learn, okay? We consolidate. We trade that. We caught that on leverage. We caught that as a swing spot trade. Take some off the table, okay? You're never going to time the top, but just be happy that you take some profits along the way. So same again, guys. Destroy your fibs. Swing low, okay? Swing low to swing high because we are in a bull market. And where are we finding classic sport? At the shallow fib, okay? Does that hold? We'll keep an eye on that. Same as whiff. And same as mod, guys. Opportunities are lower, in my opinion, but we're nearly there, okay? And look where we've bounced from. It's 382, okay? We are breaking out a little bit from this little block of liquidity that we're forming, but keep an eye on it, okay? I'm hodling still. I still hodl Whiff and Pepe and Mog, but I just took some profits. Okay? You're never going to be a hero. You're not going to be a hero by taking profits at all-time highs. Man, Mog looks strong. You know what? Mog looks really good. Out of all the memes, out of all the charts I've looked at today, guys, Mog nearly is probably the strongest, right? That's why it's my most strongest meme, okay? It's just it's the right play as a meme, in my opinion, right? So keep an eye on this. Again, we could consolidate here for longer, okay? We could do something like this before looking for a breakout. That all the way into January, guys. So time's on our side. The longer we consolidate, the more bullish I am for longer into 2025. The quicker we pump, the more bearish I get, okay? And the more aggressive I'll be with taking profits. But yeah, looking here, guys, keep an eye on charts like this as potential shorts. On Solana, okay, if we retest up here like I showed you earlier, that's what the levels I'm looking at. Outside that, I'm not really looking for anything in particular just yet. Fog's probably the one I am keeping my eye on the most as a potential long. At the moment, we're coming into a level where the risk to reward is really good. You can catch sort of a long here back to all-time highs, okay, with a simple stop loss. You can put it below that wick there of liquidity if you'd like. A simple stop loss below that wick there of liquidity, below the 0.5, because then if it breaks that, right, if it breaks this, then we're definitely going lower, okay, like this, okay, it would be something like that. So that's why having a stop, that's why this is an insane potential trade, right? This is why we get interested. This is the trade that I like to take. I don't top loss. We wait for prices to come to us. Look at that, a risk to reward of 16.8 if obviously it holds this area. Now, obviously, you could get stopped out. If you wanted to be a bit more on the cautious side, you could drop your stop loss a little bit lower, which still gives you a great risk to reward of like multiples. Those are the type of trades that we like to take, guys. So that's what I'm looking at. So nothing too much at the moment. In terms of trenches, this is really good. I put it in the meme help channel as well. It's just an analytics about what's happening at the moment. Okay, so obviously we're seeing quite a few tokens go pretty crazy still. We saw Bob, I think it was called, early today go crazy. So still plenty of opportunities. But again, look at this. Like we reached some crazy levels. We had the live streams. The volume last week was crazy. 3 billion on the platform. Look at this, like tokens launch by date. We're actually seeing a decrease in tokens over the past week. We're seeing pump volume definitely probably hit a little bit of an all-time high, or a local top. That's a better word. So, guys, de-risking from active plays, being in and out of your plays with liquidity is absolutely key, okay? So, people always like, Greeny, why are you in the trenches all the time? Because you can't be in the trenches all the time, guys. The graduation rate is still 1.5%. So, the probability of you finding something in the trenches and running that up to multiple millions is below 1%, right? So, for me, this is keep an eye on these sort of statistics. It's in... I shared it yesterday in the Memecoin chat. I shared it in the meme help channel. So just go down to the educational category and it's in the meme help channel. So you can go there, you can access this and look at the stats. What's happening at the moment in the last 7 days, what's happening in the last 24 hours. Graduated, there's 540 that have graduated in the last 24 hours out of 52,000. So you do the math. That's less than 1%. That's less than 1%, guys. That's what I mean, okay? Do the math. You can work out the math. You can work out when it's more advantageous and when it's not, particularly when macro is showing more of a bearish side, then traditionally memes do struggle in that environment as well. And as we've seen on majors, they're still pulling back after an insane run. We've seen trenches go pretty crazy with TikTok Meta, with AI, with all that pump fun live stuff as well. So, I mean, Andrew Tate, like, going on a live stream, so like that's definitely a local top, guys. It's very much a local top. I'm showing you here, okay? We're at a local top for the time being, so just be smart. Be smart. Don't be over leveraged. Don't be over leveraged in futures trade, but don't be over leveraged with holding meme coins that are going down, okay? That's key. Like some other ones that I'm keeping an eye on, like Kobe, Sigma. This is why you take profits, okay? This is why you take profits. Sigma, yep, didn't bounce here. People are so silly on the timeline, man. I'm like, it's going low, and he's like, no, it's not, mate. And I'm like, I promise you it is. So here we go. This is why I use TA. This is why we outtrade the market, and we aren't always gloating about our wins because we only trade when price comes to levels that we like to. I was hoping for a bounce here, kind of like what our FWOG trade did. But if macro does go lower, then our sort of chart that I showed you before on FWOG probably does this, where it can't hold support or it can't hold this simple fib golden ratio. It heads lower, and we look for a potential play on Sigma down lower, guys. So yeah, ignore the LARPs on the timeline, guys. Ignore the people showing insane P&Ls. We trade, okay? We trade based on what price gives us and what price does, okay? And we are extremely consistent in that approach. We've done that now for well over a year. And let's keep doing it in a smart way, okay? And we'll be looking for shorts moving into the bear market, okay? I'm not leaving crypto, guys. And if anything, I very much want to educate myself with Aussie and Sexy into the bear market around trading Forex as well. But oh my goodness, I've spoken too much over the past 4 days. But having a preference for shorts, okay, in the bear market is key as well. And there'll still be good plays. There will still be good plays across the market. So that's a very good overview, guys, of what I'm seeing in the market at the moment in terms of meme coins, in terms of the trenches, in terms of macro. So I really hope that gives you good insight, guys. I'll upload the replay so that you can watch it back, the recording. And if you have any questions, let me check the chat. Let me check the chat. Yeah. Just Zero Bro is the only one I'll check. Yeah. I personally still have to do a lot of my tax stuff from last financial year. So that's where I'm preferencing now. Now that it's not time to be in the trenches, that's what I'm preferencing, okay? Just getting up to date with the admin side of stuff, okay? Zero Bro, same again, okay? You see a lot of charts like this. They're breaking that sort of macro trend, okay? So this white line is a simple support trend that we're seeing a lot of meme coins fail to hold. So if you are still holding this, I'd probably de-risk and look for lower entries, in my opinion, okay? We're seeing a lot of meme coins show a very, very similar trends to this, where it's broken, it's showing strength. So support, potential bull flag. No, we failed to break up, okay? And we actually are breaking down after testing this for a long period of time. And what we're going lower, okay? So this is where we start to enter again, okay? These levels, give me these levels, give me this. Be greedy for lower, guys. And if you don't get it, wait for something that does give you a good entry, okay? And that's the time to lock in and get into something crazy like that. So I'm just going to stop the recording here. So let me know if you have any questions down below. Ping me in the Discord, guys. That's a great overview of where we currently are with everything, okay? So with top tokens like BTC, ETH, and Sol, we looked at BTC dominance as well. We looked at total market cap as well. We're looking at where we currently are in terms of price, in terms of time. We focused obviously on some analytics around the trenches. We obviously looked at some of the top meme coins that I'm looking at as well. But staying liquid is probably key at the moment, guys. So definitely preference that at the moment. So I hope you enjoyed that, guys.